Gemini or Gemini crosswatcher. Boy, it has taken me a minute to get this message out. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's like one distraction after the next, after the next, after the next. I'm like, God. Woo! It's been a long time, is all I gotta say. And maybe that's relevant here. So for whoever this particular message is going to resonate for, this is for my Geminis or crosswatcher. I was picking up on this song before we started the video called Home by Daughtry. I'm just looking at the name, Daughtry. Kind of looks like daughter. And try. Okay, look, I like to break down words, and in the word Daughtry, or in the name Daughtry rather, I see try. So that's standing out to me here, try. Let's get into the lyrics a little bit and then we'll get the message. I think it has something to do with your video today. I'm staring into the night, trying to hide the pain. I'm going to the place where love and feeling good don't ever cost a thing. And the pain you feel's a different kind of pain. Uh-oh. Okay. Try. Someone is try. Someone is trying to hide their pain, but it's getting exceedingly harder, okay? For whoever this one's for, I know it's not for everybody. You could even have a person who's been living a specific life, okay? And maybe for a long time, a long period of time. And I only say that because I actually called my grandfather right before I started this video just to check on him because they're getting hit by a hurricane right now. And so blessings and love and safety to all of you who are being impacted by this hurricane or you live in those areas. He lives in Louisiana, but it like went around them or something. So that's good, but I wanted to make sure he's okay. I've only met my grandfather a few times because I'm adopted. This is my biological grandfather. And so it's been a very long time since I saw him last year because we went on vacation, but before that was a long time before I had seen him. I go long periods without seeing him. So there could be something about that here where it's been a really long time and someone's been, maybe even an entire cycle has looked one particular way. I mean, they could have been with the same person for a long time. They could have been living in the same place for a long time. Whatever someone's specific story is, it's not where they're actually happy, and it's not actually where they feel home. It doesn't mean they haven't made a home there. It doesn't mean they haven't made it look like home, made it feel like home, but you can make something look and feel like a wolf, but it's actually just a person dressed up as one. So someone here hasn't actually felt home where they're at. They haven't actually felt home or like themselves, like they can fully be themselves. Maybe this is someone who wants out of where they're living. They may want out of where they're working. They may want out, if not just want out, they may all out get out. They may want out of a relationship. They want out of, this reminds me of when I was like 17 and I'm like, I can't wait till I'm 18. I can't wait to be an adult and move out of here. Boy, did I eat those words. I'm not saying this is someone who will regret it, but especially if you're somewhere where you feel like you have to, like, the way that you've been isn't really who you are, or the way that you've had to be isn't really who you are, or maybe it's who you were, but it's who you no longer are because we change. Some people don't, but some people change, and we see things as we get older that we didn't see before, and we're like, wait a second, this isn't my life. This is the life that my parents wanted for me. Or this is the life, this is the belief, this isn't what I believe, this is the belief that it was instilled in me, or this isn't who I am, this is just who I thought I had to be because that's what society wanted me to be, or whatever. I'm actually this way. It's something like that, someone is realizing they're actually very different. They want something different. Maybe this is even a person who doesn't quite know what home is. Doesn't mean they don't have a place they live in. Doesn't mean they don't have a couple people at least in their life that they feel very comfortable around. This could be a mother, a father. It could be a grandparent. It could be a best friend. Whatever it is to a person, I do think they may have a few people they feel very safe around, very comfortable around. But aside from that, where do I fit in this life? Where is actually my home? What does stability look like for me? I don't think it's what I have. Or maybe it's, I don't think it's what society is telling me it is. I think it's something else. This is someone who's like, I want to go where I feel love. And interestingly enough, I feel that it could be something that has caused someone pain. So that's really interesting. Could even be someone considering coming back around. You know? Yeah. I mean, maybe not, but I don't know. Or moving back somewhere. Coming back around. Well, I'm going home to the place where I belong, where your love has always been enough for me. I'm not running from. No, I think you've got me all wrong. I don't regret this life I chose for me. But the places and the faces are getting old. I'm going home. Oh, wow. Okay, so someone here is like, they could even be, or maybe this is past tense. We're all in different timelines. Someone could have already experienced this, could be currently experiencing this, or will be here in the near future. Someone is saying to me, you know what? I don't regret the choices I've made. I really don't, because you know, there are beautiful things that have come of it, but I'm different now. I've changed. I don't want it anymore. I mean, you know, some people have a hard time hearing that. Like, it's hard for people to hear that, and I get that. I totally get that. That can break people's hearts. But, you know, also, it's not fair for someone to have to be, or maybe even be scared to change, to be scared to change their mind. It's okay to change our minds, as long as we're honest about it and we're not living a lie. That's when it's not okay. When it's okay, doesn't mean people's feelings won't get hurt, is when we just be honest with it. And the second we know, it's like, you know, this was good for me at one time, but it's not anymore. This isn't my truth anymore. You know, I mean, I don't think this is what this is, but I'm going to give an example coming to me. Remember, the example may not have anything to do with your actual situation. And if this isn't your message, could be someone around you, someone you know going through this. But let's say someone here, you know, may have not realized someone they had before. They may have not realized, maybe they didn't stick around long enough to realize. I don't know what happened. They went their separate ways. Okay, could have even ended really bad, because he talks about pain. So then this person goes on to have a new life, a whole life, creates a whole life, spends most of their time, much of their time in this new life, this new existence, this new world, home, reality. They have a whole family, they have a whole home, you know, may bring children into the earth. I mean, I don't know what they do. They just set up shop, really, you know. And then they get to a place after about several years, we'll say, and they're like, wait a second. Something may even remind them. I'm hearing kickstart. Something may remind them of the person before. And they may be thinking, wait a second. I actually really love that person. I actually really loved them. And I love you. But now that I've experienced it, I'm ready for different now. And then someone may say, well, what do you mean by different? You're just going back to where you came from. And it's like, yeah, but I left too soon. I didn't see what everything was there, right? Because it's something about going back home. Now, this could just be a person who isn't going back to an individual, but more so coming back to themselves, their true self, their true nature. Like maybe even just now in life, discovering who they actually are, not who they think they need to be. Because it's what was instilled in them since birth, since childhood. It's who they actually are. They're asking the questions now. They are saying, what do I believe in? Why do I believe in it? You know, this could be someone who's coming back home to themselves. And it's painful because they don't want to disappoint their mom or dad. They don't want to disappoint their family. Whoever it is, maybe this is someone who doesn't care about their mom and dad or doesn't have a close relationship. But for some, they do. And it's like, I don't want to hurt anyone, but I'm hurting myself and trying not to hurt anyone else. I'm changing. You could say this is someone who may even be having a spiritual awakening later in life, and they're realizing, like, I do want to explore. It kind of reminds me of a Cancer message I just did. So I did a message for you guys, and it was short, so I wanted to get another one for you, and I felt like there was something deeper, like a different message. Here it is. But in the time that I was trying to figure out what the message was for you, I did a Cancer message. You probably want to watch that one. I think you should watch the Cancer message that's right after this video, because yeah, I recorded that before this one, and I think it has a lot to do with like entering a new realm. Someone wants a new realm, or they want to return to a realm they were in before, but they didn't stay long. Something like that. This could be as simple as someone here is traveling back to a place they used to visit, used to be, used to frequent, used to live, grew up. I mean, it can be a million different things. And it's bringing back memories. My eye is doing something really weird. Or someone could just be reconnecting. Maybe they run into someone they haven't seen since childhood or a while, and it makes them start thinking, you know? Something's going to cause this wanting to come back home type longing, and, you know, yeah. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it all. You just might get it all, and then some you don't want. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it all. This is in the song by Daughtry, Home. The miles are getting longer, it seems, the closer I get to you. I've not always been the best man or friend for you, but your love remains true, and I don't know why. You always seem to give me another try. Someone may be wondering if they could have another shot, you know, or maybe someone is going to get another shot. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be family. This could be friends. This could be, you know, this is like a type of forgiveness. I don't know. You were actually good to me, and I'm thankful for you. This is someone realizing they're actually quite thankful for an individual, although they kind of didn't see them up front. That's what I'm getting from this. No, it doesn't have to be that way. It could just be someone who's thankful for themselves. They're taking better care of themselves now in life because they didn't realize that life is a fucking gift. And yeah, it's also kind of sometimes a curse being on this planet, but it's also a gift. And I can relate to that fully. Coming back home to the self, where it's like, man, I'm so sorry to me for all of the shit that I've done to you. I'm sorry for neglecting you. I'm sorry for abusing you. I'm sorry for allowing other people to abuse you. I'm sorry for everything I've done to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the things that I fed you. I'm sorry for the alcoholism. I'm sorry for the self-harm. I'm sorry for just dating any and everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for defiling my body. I'm sorry for that. You know, it's like the higher self talking to the inner child. This is someone who's reconciling with themselves. This is deep. I mean, this is some deep shit. Somebody's like dealing with some childhood wounds here, but it's like internal. This could be an internal realization someone's going through. They want back their childhood years. They know they can't get them back. You can't go back in time. Later on, you start getting older and you start realizing things that you did when you were younger, whether to yourself or in general. And you're like, if I knew then what I know now, I would have made different choices. Yeah, I don't regret. Because I wouldn't have the mind I do right now. Because he said it in the song. He doesn't... What did he say? He said, I don't regret this life I chose for me, but these places and these faces are getting old, so I'm going home. Someone's like, you know, I know that to get where I am right now, I had to make the decisions that I've made, but I'm tired of it now. Like, I've learned my lesson. Once you've seen and you've learned the lesson, you don't want to keep relearning the same lesson. It becomes boring. You hate it. You end up building resentment when you stay somewhere after your time there has already expired. And that can even be in a relationship. And it can be in a living situation. It's like, I am just done. Then you start hating it. You start dreading it. You physically get ill. You're not happy. And then people can see that. You feel it. You can end up getting sick because of it. And someone just wants to be honest to themselves and do something different. This could be someone who's getting sober. This could be someone who's quitting some sort of something, quitting smoking, quitting drinking, quitting dating, being celibate. This could be someone who's deciding to take really good care of themselves, maybe be single for a while. This could be someone who's deciding, I don't want to be in this relationship. I am in love with the person from before, and I'm being honest about it now. I couldn't have seen it at the time because I needed to experience this. I don't regret you. I don't regret our family, our children. It could be that, right? But also, I've learned, and I don't once I've learned a lesson, I don't want to keep rereading the same book. Like, it's difficult to say it like that, but that's the truth, you know, and I get it. I get whoever this is. I totally understand. Are people going to get hurt? Yes. Will people be disappointed? Yes. Let's say someone's always believed a certain way because they were raised very, whatever, one way. And now they're different. Now they're becoming the black sheep because they're seeing, you know, maybe someone was always hard on their father or their mother for having left their father or mother, right? Or having cheated or something. And then this person maybe kind of always thought one way about this parent. This is just the first thing popping in my head. And as they grow up, they have their own life now. But then after about 10, 15 years with the same person, they start getting tired of them. And they're like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And I don't want to keep doing this anymore. Although I love our children, our child, if there's children involved. I love our fur babies, if there's fur babies involved. I love everything we've experienced, but I see why, like, I see what happened before. I mean, I wish my dad or my mom would have chosen to get out of it a different way and would have done it more honorably instead of being unfaithful. But I'm being unfaithful to myself by not being honest with you and telling you that I am no longer in love. Now, that could be the case. Could be someone here, you know, could be someone who's going to leave a job after quite some time or some sort of career path. Like, I love what I do and I'm thankful for it, but I feel like I'm being called in a different direction. Like, you know, I don't know, it's like a path change. Someone's changing their path. And they've been trying, Daltree. Remember in the beginning we talked about that? Try is the word inside of the name Daltree. I've been trying to make this home. I've been trying to be okay with how things are, how things have been. My granddog is like staring out the window oddly. It literally looks like she's depressed and longing to go outside. Well, there you go. I want to come home. I want myself back. I want my life back, you know? So I guess it's possible we're going to have some sort of reconciliation in a way. It's either someone reconciling with themselves or someone reconciling with another. Yeah. Because now in life they see. This is someone definitely taking their power back, for sure, taking their power back, whereas maybe they thought that they couldn't for a long time. I mean, I'm going to give an example, one more, and then we'll go. I'm going to talk about from an I place, like something I experienced. So this is for some people, okay? But not for me. And I thought it was for me because I was raised to believe that way. I was raised to believe that a woman is under a man and that a woman is not the head of a household and that you need a partnership and you need a family, and I just don't believe that anymore at all. I also, though, I'm balanced in my belief because I do believe that that actually works for some people, especially when it's consensual. If there are two people who at this point in their life they're like, this is for me, then I believe they should have a right to live that way. I believe they should have a right. They're not hurting anybody. I feel like they should have a right to choose what they want. And if they believe they're in love with each other, if they believe that the woman has to ask the man for permission to do things, and that you know, the creator says that this, then I believe that they should love the way that they believe. I just don't believe that way anymore. I changed, and I did believe that way. Granted, I'm not a feminist. I'm not also against feminism either, but I wouldn't call myself a feminist. I just see things so differently now in life. Like, if I knew then what I know now, I would have never gotten married. But again, I don't regret it because it, you know, they taught me. But I wouldn't get married. I would do a lot of things differently. And it's because I'm choosing my own path now. It's not what's been fashioned before me. Although I don't think my parents are wrong. I think it worked for them. My parents are still together. The family who adopted me, my family, they're still together. And I think they have a beautiful example, but I also think that's their example. Like, just because they did it doesn't mean I'm wrong for doing my own thing, you know? And so, like, I'm living my life now. I'm making my own choices now. I'm doing what I want now. And I wasn't raised that that's okay. I was raised that that's wrong to do what you want. I was raised that it's wrong to ask questions and to go down the rabbit hole, so to speak. I was raised you just kind of believe a certain way, and that's how you believe, and you don't ask too many questions outside of that, and you stay on one particular path. And while there are things about it that I very much cherish and still kind of really hold tight to this day, there are things about it that I'm like, absolutely not. And you know, the only reason that I would know that now is because I went exploring, and I've lived some things, and I've lived through some things, and I just don't believe that we all came to this planet to get married, or to even fall in love the way that humans are falling in love these days. I believe in love, definitely. I just don't know if like, why are they all so similar? Why does it all have to end the same way? You know, it's interesting to me. I don't believe we all came here to have children either. I don't believe, you know. And so I tell my kids that, I'm like, just because you see everyone else doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. You decide, and you need to give yourself time so that you know what you're deciding. You decide what you want. Don't do anything because I did it. Don't do anything because your grandparents did it. Don't do anything because society is doing it. You do what you want, and only what you want, what you feel your heart wants to do. Otherwise, you're going to be a miserable person, and you're going to look back and regret it, and you're going to struggle, and those around you will struggle. You know, for a while, I thought it was my own belief. I was like, no, this is what I believe. But it's like, it never really was what I believed. It's just what I thought that I believed because it had been ingrained in me for so long. Where actually now I don't quite know anyone that believes like me yet. I'm sure they exist. But, you know, because I'm just kind of really open right now. I'm like very open to observe and accept that there are so many different people on this planet, and we all love and believe different ways, and that's really just where I'm at. As far as myself, I don't have any strong view on love and relationships, and yeah, all I know is that I don't want to be caged, and I don't want to be controlled, and I want freedom. And I don't want to spend all my time focused on one particular individual more than I do looking at everything else around me. I want to take it in. Like, there's so much world to see. So much world to see. I mean, even right outside your front door. There's so many things. I mean, even earthworms provide a lot of information. And people are going to think I'm nuts for saying that, but I'm really not, though. I mean, I guess, whatever people want to believe, maybe I am. But do you know what I mean by that? Like, I want a relationship with everything around me. I want a relationship with myself. I'm not against a relationship, though, eventually, maybe in the future, but I also know I don't have to have one. You know, I also know I don't need one. And that I will be just fine if I die without one. I just want to observe. Like, that's all I want to do. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens in my future, like what happens in the next 5-10 years, what I'll be thinking and seeing and believing then. But right now, I'm just really in it. I feel like a student, really. I feel like I'm back in school, but the earth is my teacher and people are my teachers. Like, the earth is my tarot card. Every experience in life is my tarot card now. The animals, the creatures, literally bugs are my cards. They teach me music, movies. Everything is my teacher. And it's like I never paid attention before. I was always just learning what humans were teaching me only, not what actual my own observation was teaching me. I was reading just what was in textbooks and what was being pushed in my head. And now I'm I'm learning from my own observation. It's like I'm a little tiny student scientist or something, and I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. I don't also know why I'm shrinking in my chair. See, that's what's wrong with the world, is like you feel like you have to kind of cower or be ashamed or be afraid to be yourself, to sit tall, to be strong, and to know that it's absolutely and entirely okay for you to make the decision that you want to make if it brings you closer to yourself, and if it brings you closer to your own truth instead of what other people want for you. If you're a little oddball, you're an oddball. If you're a recluse, you're a recluse. If you don't fit in, you don't fit in. That's okay. If you're an outcast, you're an outcast. But at least you're an honest one to yourself, you know? This is a really nice message. I can tell where it will get people hurt, though. I can tell where it's going to get people very upset. For the person who's making the changes and will be coming back home in some way, whether it is just like changing things up and their people in their environment don't like it, or maybe actually all out changing a situation, like up and leaving a place, leaving a job, leaving a home, leaving a belief system, leaving a religion, leaving, like actually leaving, but not hatefully so. That's where the balance needs to come in. You know, this would be someone who would have to hopefully keep that balance, because I think later on they would regret it if they didn't and like did something hatefully, no matter how it was being done to them. It's just a matter of, all right, this no longer serves me, I'm out. You know, it can be simple, but sometimes when we're frustrated or we're hurt ourselves, or we feel like people just aren't trying to understand us, but we've been having to live a certain way just to please them, we can get very frustrated. And yeah, wow, I went way over in this video. Oh my God, I've just been sitting here babbling like a babbling brook, darling. Brooklyn, brook. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.